really. I think a lot of people are starting to think there's something strange going on. There's been murmurings of this great reset, but no one really knows anything about it unless you've been looking at it in the news for quite a while. There's just massive uncertainty going on in the world, and just about every pillar of society and stability is kind of crumbling, and the obvious reasons for the reasons for this are becoming more obvious. To some are just too horrific to contemplate, and they've just got to carry on. Or they're the ones who are still being paid, and I'm very happy for these sort of measures that are being enforced on people who thought they were free. Well, I think the I don't know what the score is with the heroin trade, but I believe it's flourishing, and the war hasn't been able to stop it. Yeah, so if we knew what the actual mechanics of the whole operation was, I think we'd find out quite quickly that a few people were making billions out of it on the world drugs trade and etc. And wars are fought over it. I don't think it's anything to do with educating Afghani women either, although, I mean, good luck to them if they do manage to break through that kind of a society to do so.
We've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. So
it's reminding me more and more of Blade Runner or Mad Max.
Yeah, but it seems to be kind of those in control who have completely lost their heads, running around like chickens. I mean, are just a complete shell of a real person, really. I mean, look at all these celebrities who's lead such kind of double lives, and no, I haven't. Oh, hang on. If I press on your live thing here,
too,
No, I can see it.
You can see it?
One part of my screen is your desktop, but it's small because I'm on my phone.
Yeah, I guess there's a few things in here, but we could talk about really anything.
I've got it now, Greg. Yeah.
Okay. You got it?
Excellent. Yeah.
Talked to a few people, and Holloway, you're one of them, because I wanted to chat with you. It's been a while, and we did a little live stream together, and I thought it went very well. So I wanted to do another little something with you. And Edusa too, same thing. Unfortunately, him and I blew it, man. We did like an hour and a half recording. It was beautiful, but I didn't get recorded. Only Edusa did. So it kind of blew that. And then I blew a 2-hour recording with Ramon. I was just feeling like a real freaking moron, but I finally got it together. Error is human, I guess.
Yeah, at least you're doing it, Greg. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
I've been described as sort of Taoist in my beliefs.
Yeah, pretty much.
I grew up on a Navajo reservation and lived in Greece for a while. So my early childhood was very travel based.
For sure, you didn't have a typical American upbringing. You lived in Greece?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds exotic.
I'm like a 6'2" German guy. I've got like melting pot blood. But
Yeah.
yeah, when I'm still in culture shock from moving into white society after after my early childhood. Dichotomy.
I've been on holiday to Greece twice and I loved it there. I really loved it. Just slept on the beach twice basically.
Yeah.
Had a great time. Absolutely wild time.
So where are you now, Holloway? I mean, what area do you live in the United States? Do you live in Europe? Where do you live now?
I'm in Seattle.
Oh, that's right. You're holding Seattle down. Yeah. Yeah, Seattle's cool, but I heard it's dying.
Well, you wouldn't know it from looking at it. I mean, it's quiet because of COVID, but it was booming. It was one of the fastest growing cities in
my life. The last time I got the flu was 2016. It was the last time I've had a cold. And, man, I thought it was going to kill me.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I coughed for like a month after the cold left. And I had this thing move into my chest. I didn't know if I was going to survive, man. It was really touch and go there for a while. I was coughing, and I coughed so much that I bruised 2 ribs.
Oh, man.
I felt I can't cough again. And then I'd have to cough full force. Oh, my God. Yeah, but man, if I tell you a crazy story regarding that, after that scene was over, first I had the cold for about 3 weeks. Then it moved into my chest, and I had it in my chest for about a month. And then I had to get over bruised ribs. And my cat, for the first time only in since, would crawl up my leg when I was laying in bed watching TV, and she'd lay on my rib cage, and her weight was just that perfect weight where it would put a little tension but feel good. You know what I mean? And
I do.
And the warmth of her body, dude, it was like she was healing me. I've never done it since.
I've had a cat do this very same thing. I'm a chronic smoker. I smoke like crazy, and
like that guy.
And the cat would sit on my chest and purr, and it felt like it was healing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think cats are electric. You can pet them, and a lot of times you'll get a shock. But
I think it's a frequency. It's just the purring is a vibration,
Well, the ancient Egyptians revered cats, especially black
cats.
cats.
Don't get sick of me smoking weed, do they?
Yeah, I can't deal with cigarette smoking anymore. I think Tesla said that cats are electric.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Are you guys hearing me okay? I'm just praying that everything is coming out just right on the OPS,
I think the international connection is a little choppy, but I can hear you great.
I can hear you so well when you talk that I can hear cars on the road.
That's because I'm trying to stand in a quiet corner and have a smoke.
Are you guys seeing the screen?
I can.
I was going to ask you, what did you make of the whole thing with the supposed disc that was just found? It was a few years, it was about a decade now. But, of the sun, the little craft going in the sun, and it's like a UFO. It just was up a minute ago. Did you see it?
I have seen that, yes.
Yeah, have you seen that? It's amazing, isn't it? I'm just like, what the heck is that? Let me see if I can go back. There's so many things like that thing. What do you make of that thing?
Bottom of the ocean. Yeah.
The Bering Sea, is that where it's at, I think? Do you think that's a real petrified alien craft?
Yeah, it's an ancient rock submarine. I don't know.
I know, man, there's so many crazy things going on in the world that is from our past that we have no idea what it's about.
I think that's for sure.
You know, I mean, just everything that you see on the screen, it's from one mystery to the next, to the next, to the next. We don't know anything.
I'm trying to put a couple of the pieces together, but man, it's rough.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, was South America Atlantis? Or, you know, because I know it was the shores of the world, but was there really a main island? I would think there would be. Or,
wasn't it like Manly
or
Hall?
continent.
What's the guy's name? Manly Hall?
Manly P. Hall?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got a pretty good point about it being an ancient civilization that spanned the globe.
That guy's
He
a
got hit.
33rd degree Mason.
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't know what to make of them damn Masons. Half the people say they're good, half the people say they're evil.
Catholicism. There's a couple people sitting on a Vatican full of information, and then there's all the other Catholic people. I think 33rd Mason is sort of like that. It's like you got a bunch of them that are just dudes, and then you got that Vatican group.
No doubt. You know, I think there is no doubt about the fact that they infiltrated them. That's for sure. Somebody did. Maybe for all we know, the Catholics were infiltrated too.
That all goes back to the Templars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who was it that was talking about those souls? Those things are
What are you talking about?
star castles. Have you seen those? There's like
Star forts? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You know who talks about that? New Earth. She talks about those. Have you ever seen her New Earth channel? It's got a pretty good channel, but it's, you know, you gotta be okay with listening to a high-pitched female voice for a long time.
Well, it isn't just that. It gets a little woo-woo sometimes ways that I can't quite follow.
Well, yeah, when she first started.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't like that when she first started. I know, you know, I was watching something on Gaia the other day, and they got some blonde, dripping with jewelry, you know, interviewing some old geologist or archaeologist. So I'm like, man, that chick is so out of Huh? I missed that, Edusa. Did you guys? That's what's always really weird about this, is that you'll be talking and all of a sudden you'll stop talking.
The connection's getting a bit crusty.
Oh, there's a lag. That's what it is.
Yeah, solar flares.
Yeah. Well, the sun is going back. It's starting to get active again. We had a sunspot. I was just reading about it on space.com. We had a sunspot yesterday.
The pole is about to flip. I think one of the human condition struggles we're dealing with, it's to do with comets going by as it does.
Whatever you just did, it was beautiful because you just honed right in. Oh, where did this go? You gotta be back here, man. Shit.
He was causing the noise.
His connection.
Oh. Why did he go?
Because he was causing the noise. Maybe he disconnected because of his connection.
Yeah, because he said he was getting lag, yeah. What's up, Rick? Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, dude.
Hey, fellers.
We're talking about the deep mysteries of the world.
Well, I'm out because I want to talk about the deep mysteries of the universe.
All right, let's
Fuck
do that.
the world.
Yeah,
the world's too goddamn crazy for me. Pardon, my friend.
Word that.
Yeah. Hey, Deuce was back. All right, what's up, man?
Yeah, the singer's crumbling or something. It's letting me back on anyway. That's a bit strange, but good to be back.
Yes.
Up Edusa.
Oh, I'll shut whatever you do.
Finally, all four of us are together.
Peachy.
Nice.
Pick a subject. Any subject.
Well, I think it all comes back down to time and the chronologies, and it's just everyone who has a theory has a different theory when these big changes happened, and I don't know if we actually. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we've got the whole timing mechanism completely wrong, and history's just about a complete mess before 1,000 years ago, almost non-existent. Artifacts are in existence, but then the dating systems are all completely screwed, and they don't tally with any of the events or the you know the events which have been written down. All the written information out of it, the thousands of little snippets of language which we're just starting to decode, and it's been written. The same information's been written numerous times in a series form, rather than the events that happened all at the same time have been spread over hundreds of thousands of years. It's a complete mess. Just like our astronomy was a mess before the electric universe, I think all our historical systems are a complete mess.
Absolutely.
So that's no wonder we don't know why everything's wrong all the time.
All of our ancient knowledge comes from 2 books that were written in the Middle Ages by Joseph Scaliger.
Well, that's right. That's right. And there were all the documents in existence, but there were also compilations of ancient work that have been kind of edited along the way as well. So.
Well, that's the Jesuit order. They were out to be the source of all scholarship and criticism.
Well, I mean, I think that these religious wars in Europe in the medieval times were, I think that was that fight going on really.
I think they're still in charge. They probably control the Royal Society. Jump in, guys, anytime.
I was going to say that I have high hopes for the new pottery dating technique that they've got, where they date the lipids that are in the pots.
I haven't heard of that. So they date.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it just came out like 6 months ago, I think, something like that.
Oh,
yeah, they can date things to within months, they say. Thousands of years old.
Really? Wow. I'm going to have to. What if it doesn't have any lipids in it?
That's the whole point of pottery, is that it all has lipids in it. They just get isolated when it gets cooked, but they can go in and analyze the lipids. Yeah, I don't know exactly how it works, but
I'll have to look it up, later. Well, this is the way I see it, fellas, and you can just, you can criticize it all you want. I think sometime in the mid to early 1950s, there was a major breakthrough, and they figured something out to be able to have just what we're looking at there, the G machines. They were publicizing them in popular magazines, and then all of a sudden everything just disappeared about 1955. So what I think that they have had this technology since the 50s, and that's why the electric universe is being shut down. Because if people start thinking the universe is electric, they're going to start looking at other things like flight and free power, and it goes without saying. We're drunk and addicted to oil, and we're not going to be allowed to get off that until they're good and ready.
It's sort of like Dune.
Yeah, Ramon brought it up when I was talking to him in our last video. He said, they're draining all the lipids from the earth. Speaking of lipids, what are we gonna leave in its place? Big caverns? I can't understand. I mean, I think oil is a naturally forming substance. That's some kind of a lubricant. I don't think it's fossil fuel. I think that's a big bunch of BS too.
Yeah, Velikovsky said it rained when
Mhm.
Venus. Yeah,
Yes.
oil.
Naphtha. Yep.
There's bubbling pools of plastisol in Africa. You can just walk over and tool dip your handle of your hammer.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great. I never heard of that. Wow.
You
Where's
know
that at?
that tool dip that you buy at Home Depot? That's all that is. It's just plastisol. It's a naturally occurring plastic.
I didn't know plastic was natural. I thought that's why they asked you at the checkout counter if you want paper or plastic.
It's all petroleum, you know. It's just it's like a bubbling pool of petroleum. It's like not hot enough to be on fire, but it's not cold enough to be a
Yeah.
glob.
Here's something I bet you guys probably haven't thought of. Did you know that it takes 5,000, what is it? 5 tons of sand to build one house. Just the house. Now, if you want to build a stadium, it takes like 6 million tons of sand. Where are they getting all this sand from?
The Sahara Desert.
Oh, I mean, you know, but the way we build to make cement, the amount of sand that they have to keep making, it must be just astronomical.
Yeah. Huge quarry.
Because we never think about that. Plus, they're chopping the trees down like they're going out of style. One of the reasons why they had to find the New World was because Europe was running out of trees back in the Middle Ages.
Yep. Yeah, we're hitting critical mass. We definitely need to expand. We need to stop hitting each other with sticks and
Oh,
get
yeah.
into.
You're absolutely right. It's crazy. How come you guys are being so silent? Shockwave Edusa, hello, you there? Earth to Edusa. I'm hogging the mic. I'm blabbing too much. I guess these guys, they got so disinterested, they just started paying attention to something else. They're not even here anymore.
No, I am.
I knew that'd get them to respond.
I'm working on my my new mount for my SKS.
What is an
Scope mount.
What for?
SKS rifle
What for?
for scope.
For scope?
For scope.
You mean a telescope?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know you were into
for my
that.
SKS rifle.
Hey, do you have a sun filter?
Not a telescope for watching the stars. For shooting. A
A
scope.
rifle. Rifle
Oh.
scope.
You're one of them guys that goes and sucks Bambi's eyeballs out every November. I get it. No, I'm just kidding, man. Actually, hunting's a good thing. First of all, the hunters are the ones who actually feed the deer. And in Michigan, winter kills more deer than the hunters do.
Oh, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the circle of life.
Yeah. And I've had venison before. It's okay. I used to be a hunter, but I gave it up about 15 years ago. Just wasn't into it anymore. I like shooting, you know, go to the range. It's fun.
Yeah, I've been to a shooting range. I've got my marksman merit badge.
You know what I've always wanted to do? I've always wanted to get into one of them airsoft battles. It looks like so much fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, or paintball or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I hear paintball is, I don't know, real expensive and it hurts. I don't know if I want to do it. Well, maybe I would, yeah. We used to go out and have BB gun battles when I was a kid.
Jeepers. That's dangerous. You put an eye out with one of those things.
I got shot in the temple once, too, like an inch from my eye. Hey, I gotta hit the channel. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Talks amongst ourselves. Yeah, dead air. So are you cleaning your rifle, or are you just sighting things with your scope, Rick?
No, my friend. I bought a new scope mount for my SKS.
Oh,
It's the back part of the receiver that holds the spring. It's a big, huge chunk of metal, and it's not fitting properly. So I got a file in my hand, and I'm filing away.
Working it, gotcha. I just got home from work. I've been animating characters. My summer project has been learning Blender, so I'm making characters and animating them. It's been a blast working on that. And just day job, disinfecting rooms all day.
I'm back. What did I miss?
Oh, we're not really very much. I was filling airtime until you got back.
What those two guys just don't really seem to be into it, do they?
They got stuff going on. It's all good. It's busy times.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for a week to get this scope mount, and it came in today.
Oh yeah, I get it.
And when I came home, I got a message from Greg saying, "We're doing a talk." Oh, shit.
I get it.
And to top it all off,
yeah,
this freaking thing doesn't fit on perfectly right. So like I told Holloway, I said, I got a file in my hand, and I'm filing away on this thing right now.
What you want us all to regroup in an hour or two, or you want to do it another day, or?
Oh, keep talking.
Well, it's okay. I mean, we've been talking for a while now, and I don't know. Let me see what.
Greg, I'm sorry. I muted myself by mistake. I was talking away myself, and then I realised no one could hear me. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. No, I was wondering what happened to you, man.
Yeah, I thought everyone were ignoring me. I thought, what's going on here?
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I thought that we had a clock on the OBS telling me how long I've been streaming for. I don't even really know. Probably not longer than a half hour. Something like that.
Yeah, I'd say
about a half hour.
Less than that, I would think.
Well, what do you think of my theory about the electric universe?
Oh, I definitely think it's all electric.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about why they don't let us indulge.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, I mean, it's okay. If you were to discover that at the beginning of the Cold War, and
the whole thing has been a psyop.
You would immediately secure the information for the military first, right?
Exactly.
And then Russia is doing the same thing at the exact same time.
Mm-hmm.
So then you've got the Cold War. They say it's all about nuclear stuff, but that's all smoke and mirrors.
The Cold War was drummed up. The Cold War was drummed up. It was another psyop. They made it out to be 10 times worse than it was.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the duck and cover generation, so I was
too.
like, wait, I expected a nuclear bomb to go off any minute for about 20 years. So we've all got PSTD from that shit.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you, Holloway. In the 1950s, the World War II generation was convinced by the media that we were going to have a nuclear war with Russia because we had Curtis LeMay. This guy was a madman. He was flying formations of B-52s over the east coast of Russia and then circling around. And they knew that if the Russians came up to meet them, that they'd just go on ahead and go in and drop their bombs. And the Russians didn't do anything. Thank God.
I remember every once in a while they would announce that they had almost started a war.
Well,
Like,
yeah, they were looking forward to it. They wanted to have it. Somehow, John Kennedy saved us, man. He stymied them. That's why they killed him.
Presents millions of pounds to them. You know, every time a missile is fired off, that's £1 million in your back pocket. You know, they kind of like it happening. I mean, I can't imagine how much was spent in the Middle East. Well, in this last 30 years in the Middle East, and absolutely nothing achieved until Trump came along. In my view, you know, just a complete mess with all these quangos back in this side and then back in the other side, and until they're all armed to the teeth, a lot of murderers who are absolutely psyched up with propaganda from either radicalised groups or our own governments. What a mess.
You hit it on the head, Edusa.
Yeah.
Very good synopsis.
We need, and because our media has been such a, you know, a letdown, you know, a complete desertion of duty.
What media? Yeah, they're all owned, man. In America now, they don't. If they get a reporter that's good, that's halfway decent, that does their job, they just pay them off and give them a nice fat position with a dripping paycheck, and they're taken care of.
Well, they just basically fired if they haven't got the correct political views.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And it's not just in one country; it's everywhere.
Yeah, and it's the same, and it is it's kind of a live and let die kind of brutish system which they're trying to enforce right through the world.
Well, I think the critical mass is the media. You know, it's knowing how to discern facts from all the bullshit is going to get exponentially harder for 90% of the population.
Yes.
Well, I think so, because you know, the actual keeping people silent. You know, it's being written into these laws which are being passed in our parliament right now. You know, if anyone doesn't agree with the experts who our government's using to determine their policies with us, if you're a naysayer, they can actually shut you down as a harmful, harmful speech.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't think vaccines are a good thing, you know, it's almost like saying you're a flat earther. So,
it's getting harder and harder to criticize, and I think the main thing in a republic which makes it so, one of the main ingredients, or a democracy, is the fact that dissenters can be heard, and if they're right, then they have to be listened to. We have that problem in every single science. We have it in everywhere. It's a schism that exists in everything. You know, the only science that doesn't have a bunch of propaganda and bullshit in the way are electric engineers, because it don't work or they get killed.
You're so right.
You know, so you don't.
I agree. I mean, I think the electric universe has taken on astronomy and physics in
Cosmology.
And cosmology. I think it's taken these systems, which were someone else's property, really, the Royal Society probably, and said, look, it's like the emperor with no clothes. you know, they removed the clause. But I think Trump was doing the same in a political sense, because he was a businessman in a political world who could see the absolute fallacies going on, and then just started tearing them away. And I think this is happening in a few different areas of science, and you know, it's been reflected in history, and it's been reflected in other world systems that we thought were stable. They're having to be completely, they're so corrupt and rotten, a bit like Microsoft Windows operating system. But it's got software rot. It needs completely rewriting, and you can strip maybe 2/3 of it away and throw it away, and you wouldn't know the difference. You'd probably have a better system, in fact.
When I was a kid, you had astronomy. And then at some point around the 70s or 80s or 60s maybe, I don't know exactly when, cosmology came into view over astronomy. And that when astronomy became cosmology, we started having all this crap, you know, because the mathematicians rule the day. You got to get them damn mathematicians the hell out of the way. We're too hung up on math. We put too much into it. Well, you know why? Because in the ancients, the only place the mind could expand was in mathematics.
Well, it's in everything. I mean, it's all a fractal, right? Sorry, I'm talking over you. Go ahead.
No, I was done. I don't want to hog all the talking.
No, go ahead.
I finished my thought.
I was just going to mention that Isaac Newton, he kind of invented differentiation, so he could explain what he saw in motion. He was a very practical mathematician who extended the use of mathematics to explain phenomena. And mathematics should explain phenomena if it's used correctly. It can be used to explain phenomena. But of course, when some clever person realizes that well, you don't have to change the amount of mass in an object. You can simply change the dimensions of space, you know, to explain gravity or changes in gravity. And now you've got a completely all new ball game, because of course this affects time. It affects every area of physics and science, and there's no proof that space has ever been bent. Now they talk about gravitational lensing, but you know, that's a whole other story.
It's crap. It's crap.
Yeah.
You see 4 quasars around a galaxy, but that's gravitational lensing. It's bending its light. It's just, it's asinine. You know, they can turn anything into an argument if they want to.
Yeah, but you know, you're meant to use maths to explain the observable phenomena, not the other way around. Not. Not develop a mathematical equation and then say that's what the observable phenomena is.
Well, when you're talking about Newton, you know, when he wrote that book, he even stated right in it, "I present no hypothesis." He didn't know how it worked. He just said, "Here's how it works."
That's the way to.
Yeah, he came so close to it, which is an amazing achievement, really.
No doubt. And, you know, unfortunately, he lived in the 1600s. And,
I've recently been reading his work on chronology, because
he was very spiritual.
Well, he started off this chronology argument when he said that But I think the whole system at that time was based upon what was in the Old Testament and the Bible, and a few coins, and I think that's how the old time system was kind of developed. And he was talking about a missing, I think 800 years or something in the first millennium BC. But all his references were from Greek literature. Every last one was from ancient Greek literature, just about.
And who was that?
Isaac Newton.
Oh, Newton. Right. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say Velikovsky. But yeah, no, Newton was he had, you got to give the guy credit. I mean, he was a genius in a lot of ways, But I mean, if he could have just put that 2 and 2 together when he saw lightning, like Ben Franklin did, Ben Franklin, when that actually happened, and maybe he was laying on his back, as Don Scott says, but he said the sky is electric. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And so it is.
Mm-hmm. Everything is. Everything is. We are, we have a charge to us. I don't know how much, but I know that
4.87 megahertz or something like that.
Yeah, that one dude, the guy with Electric Universe who does some kind of healing or something. He's on the right track. Medicine is going to go electric. In 100 years.
Yeah, there's a couple of them who are very interested in they say that your body's a meridian system, just like in the chakra system, and you've got to keep these energy pathways open, and they seem to be able to go open and close them with a little pendulum with a magnet in it, and it seems to work. I think we are electrical bodies, because it's like if I take my shoes off up on top of the hill, I just feel so different, grounded. So I do that quite frequently if I get up there, we are electrical systems, transmitters somehow. I think that's when we work, when we've got that kind of clear energy, clear way of transmitting, like an aerial, I guess. I don't know, transmitting, receiving, like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was watching this brief little thing from Wal Thornhill, and I'm trying to remember where it was. I think I know. He was saying that they're starting to think that DNA and all of our cells are controlled from the outside and not the inside, much like stars. And it was
surprised me a bit that
future
we were
science. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, I concur. I think that's probably true. I haven't heard Wal Thornhill say that, but everything he says is amazing.
Oh yeah, I have this little 4 or 5 minutes of him doing a presentation. It was called Future Science. I think it was on Thunderbolts 2017. I don't know when was their last get together.
Yeah, Bruce Lipton is very well worth listening to upon this subject. He does his epigenetics, and this is what he postulated years ago, and it's pretty well accepted now, that cells are sensitive on the membrane rather than in their nucleus, and so a sort of very complex communications can be set up chemically on the cell's membrane, and so they completely respond to their environment, not what's written in the DNA is switched on and off according to the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is becoming apparent that if you can change the environment
Did
in
you know that
yourselves.
Freddy Krueger is only in A Nightmare on Elm Street? Oh, sorry.
Hello? You all right? Yeah, sorry, that was my son. He walked in. He didn't know I was streaming or recording. It's okay. Finish your thought. I liked where you were going.
Oh, sorry. Where was I?
And it happens to me all the time.
Yes.
I have that little blurb. I'm going to put it on so you guys can see it. For 1 second here. I have to stop this.
Of stars, etc. In future, we may understand gravity as a near-instantaneous dipolar electric force that can be attractive or repulsive, like magnetism. In future, understanding electrogravity may allow us to begin to understand the real interiors of stars and planets.
Can you guys hear
and
that?
ways to harness the gravitational force for propulsion.
I got it showing on TV.
In future, understanding the instant signaling between resonant
I gotta
systems
change
may
the
allow
screen.
biology to advance beyond
Where
biochemistry
is it?
into the realms of morphogenesis and consciousness, the bases of life.
How do you change windows? Yes.
In future, there is no time travel.
There.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
But galactic communication at the speed of thought?
Now, can you see it?
Who knows?
Yeah.
In future, a new science must be causally complete, that is, every effect has a cause. It must be coherent. There can't be any exceptions. It's got to fit in with everything.
I got it.
And also, it has to be coherent in the sense that the whole thing is stable.
He's got a knack with speaking in very simple terms as well, that laymen can understand easily. He doesn't try and dress it up in technical terms and abbreviations that you wouldn't understand, unless you're an insider. So I mean, that he's a communicator. He really is a good communicator.
Yeah, he has his way. He has a way about him, doesn't he? Yeah, I know. And you know, when I watch him, I can sense his frustration. Even in his presentation, I can see how frustrating this has been for him. He's carried a heavy load for a long time. You know, there's just no respite. You know, it's fight, and get clobbered in the mainstream. And the only way people are going to know the truth is if they look for themselves. All they got to do is look, and you can just have an open mind, see both arguments, and naturally common sense is going to take over. And but there needs to be a point where it's like the science community is outraged. It's going to take that, probably a revolution to get it done.
Yeah, but I think this rate of opinion's got to change at some point, because that when the predictions that the electric universe make are coming through, just about, they seem to be coming through 10 out of 10 perfect, according to their paradigm, and the dark matter people are getting increasingly confused. As our telescopes are getting better and better, and they're coming out with more and more outlandish solutions, which involve black holes.
Oh, absolutely. That is. Yeah, go over everybody's head.
Yeah, and people like me can't understand that because the math is far too complex. The ideas are like imaginary particles emitted from imaginary particles. Just layers upon layers of imaginary particles that are based upon a complete fallacy of the laws that axioms, the things that you consider laws of science, are completely broken. If you follow these all the axioms of science are completely shite in the first place, one or the other. But no solutions can ever be found in the way the mainstream seems to be looking, whereas Electric Universe seem to find these solutions all the time, and the predictions seem to be right. I think if there were a fair media, the weight of just common sense has got to fall with the Electric Universe. If you believe in common sense, it's got to fall. It's just a simple and elegant description of what we see around us.
3% of the population.
1 in 1,000, maybe, but less than that, probably.
I would think so too, but it takes a while to reach that pool. It's a specific niche. Yeah, it's like exactly. Yeah, you keep your eyes open for potential important pieces of information, and eventually you'll stumble on the Electric Universe, and then when you do, you can't not see that anymore. Like I look at Google Earth and everything looks electric. To be honest, I stumbled first upon Ben Davidson's morning show. And he sort of sounded like a brainiac, and I was like, hey, he's using some terms I don't recognize, and so I started learning solar stuff from him, and then of course it wasn't but the next couple weeks I ran into Walt Thornhill and David Talbot and Velikovsky and all that, and it blew my mind blown.
I love rain, don't you?
Yeah, I came across the Electric Universe at quite a strange angle. I'd been listening to, I don't know if you ever come across John Lamlash, and he's a Gnostic sort of teacher and writer. He does quite a lot on YouTube. Interesting guy in here, but anyway, he was talking about the myth of what was it? Sophia, and how she was an aeon which emanated from the centre of the galaxy, etc. So anyway, I thought the whole story really struck a note with me. In fact, it was a kind of an alternative creation story, and it talks about archons and Saturnine kind of.
Don't forget the demigods.
Well, it's all about that sort of that mythology anyway. But anyway, I ended up looking in order to see, if there was any sort of scientific basis for them, and that's when I ran into the Electric Universe and of course the Greg J channel, probably on the same night. In fact, yes. So yeah. So and it all kind of fit into place. So I came across the Electric Universe from an extremely mystical point of view. Yeah, Yeah. Well, I mean, it seemed to point me in the right direction at the time. So you know, and it obviously explains quite a lot.
No, we're here, we're gone, we upload our experiences to the consciousness, but once we're gone, everything that we experienced is up there. All our knowledge, all our experiences are up there, out there.
I think it's a fractal. I think it's a fractal. We are each an interference pattern, a spectrum, a vibration, and that is just part of the bigger fractal that keeps going.
All religions are control mechanisms. They want you to feel good. They want you to feel good, and they all tell you that there's life after death. Who you gonna believe? Them or yourself? And I choose myself.
Yeah, they took off earlier and then they came back, and I thought they were leaving for good.
I don't think you've got to cram your belief into a religion, certainly. But I do believe. Yeah, I do believe in the old classical idea of the Nemesine, whereas when your spirit leaves your body when you die, and it goes on to inhabit another one later on, and it's kind of just the same kind of being that can accept the same waves and transmit them as the same as you could. And so that yeah. Sorry, that's it basically. Yeah. Well, I think it works. It definitely works because I've done it, and I did kind of an exercise in it. A guy called Thomas Campbell, and he was touring and writing about very archontic kind of way of looking at the world. That we're all living basically in a computer program. It's a no. But anyway, he does all these very interesting experiments on being able to destroy information, very extending the double split experiment quite a number of ways, in intelligent ways, and getting some very interesting results out of it. But anyway, he basically taught me how to do this meditation and scribble down what picture came into my head, and I started just getting them right. I got about 7 out of 10 of them pretty well right. Just complete objects which I wouldn't have thought possible, you know. And so I'm sure you can do it. You can tune into sort of an information waveband somehow. Yeah, the Druids knew this. The ancient Greeks knew it. That's why they had all these animal called it Nemesine. You know, it's kind of it's the life force that, you know, that'll die with a creature, but, you know, gets reborn in something else basically. Or it gets shared around. Well, what we say is that if we can each respond to a particular signal according to our DNA, and it's maybe some kind of wavelength signal, that if we can do that, then the signals that we're responding to are presumably knocking around after we die, and creating those signals, and yeah, I suppose that's the essence of what we are. I mean, as you know, we have a vibration that we respond to, which is unique in the universe, each one of us, and a nice one, bro. Yeah, and yeah, that's what I say, and it keeps manifesting itself in all sorts of creatures, I think, and
well, it's either that you you are nothing after you're gone, or you become a disembodied spirit, which I doubt, because everybody, all the religions, again, tell us that that's what happens, that you leave your soul leaves your body, and I'm not sure that happens. A lot of people turn inwards, and all they experience is their life. A lot of people say that they float above their body, and then they came back in. It's hard to understand. I mean, even with the ET thing is crazy, man. There's a lot of things that make you go, well, maybe it's real.
Back sometime in 2001, there was an answer to the message that Carl Sagan sent out like in 1974 about the human species and what we were made out of. And we were third rock from the sun, and what we looked like. And we got a reply back in the form of a crop circle.
No, the information was in the radio signal that was sent out. That diagram that you're talking about, with, you know, like, here's the shape of our, you know, and this is our star. Our star has this many planets in it, and we're on the third one, and so on and so forth. Yeah, there was a reply apparently, but who knows? Yeah, I've seen the video of the one in Britain where it's creating the crop circle right in front of you, but I don't know.
Can they do the radio waves, bouncing those radio waves off the apparently the long wave can get, but there's hardly any power in the long wave thing, but it's you can get highly accurate direction with
focusing
the radio. Yeah, you can focus it very well, but there's no power in the signal. I wouldn't have thought so, unless you can get something to actually bend the grass, and it all seems to fall the same way, doesn't it? And it's complicated now. It's almost some kind of vortex that's been set up over it. But then you get these fractal patterns. You get all sorts of very complex shapes that look like they went to a computer generated signal rather than something that you could draw easily with a bit of string and markers, and it looks very complicated, doesn't it? Some of these structures are, to be able to lay those out and draw them it'd take weeks just to have all the circles correct, wouldn't it? Although they're repeating patterns, a lot of them, well, some of them aren't, and it's very difficult. A bit of a mystery still. And that's been going 30 years. So, I don't suppose you have the little journalists out on a bicycle. Every town used to have one at one point, and I don't think we have anything like that anymore. I suppose people get pictures on the Facebook. Show them to all the pals on Facebook if they can get the phone out on time. Well, I'm pretty sure that America, that North and South America was known about, well in advance of Christopher Columbus. I don't think. Yeah. And of course that'd be hidden from most people. I suppose it came to the attention of the English in Elizabethan times. I don't know if Henry VIII knew anything about it. I don't think he did. Never sent a boat over there anyway. So that, who knows? I think the French were there. Well, who knows who was there? I think people have been going there for thousands of years, probably. Yeah, it was a Tolkien-esque world, wasn't it? I mean, you had midgets, you had giants, you had all sorts of things. You had people from South America coming up. You had your woodland Indians, the Osage and the Pawnee were taking everyone's slaves and warriors, and so they all had different ways of living, didn't they? Well, I think the Earth is an organism. I think it's got levels of consciousness. It seems to. I think there are 5 different rules that categorise something being a life form. I don't know how well the Earth fits into that, but it seems to do most of the things that you would need to quantify a life form. I think it probably has a kind of, what you'd call a consciousness. If like a cell, all its sensory systems are on its skin. Maybe they aren't. I don't know. But there's a good chance they are. Maybe somehow it uses us as its eyes and ears.
Yeah.
I had the living things.
I had my mic off all that time, doggone it. I hope I still caught it. Can you record on Discord? I mean, I don't see why not. Everything they offer everything else. No? Oh, that's too bad. They got it made. I mean, this is pretty good, but the only thing that Skype has over this is you can record, and everybody's levels are going to be, decent. I'm eyeballing mine, but I won't know till I listen to it what it came out like.
I'm not sure if you can record or not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can.
Oh, well, I recorded it on OBS. So.
Okay.
This replaces the arrival of the gods, the watchers at some time, and the neocortex shifted. What? I was reading that last slide. It just went bye-bye. Well, guys, I guess we can wrap it up. It was cool. It's first time. So.
Well, sorry, Greg. I was a little bit more participative, but.
It's okay, man.
I received my scope mount, and I was focused to get that on my gun, and I'm not happy. So.
All right.
But like I said, like I said before, you got to give me a day's notice, man.
You know, I've been trying to get it together with you, and I've been trying to get it together with Holloway. So I just said, well, this time, and with Edusa, so this time I just got you all three in the room, and boom. Okay, I got you all now.
What are you fellers doing tomorrow?
I don't know. Do you want to?
Yeah,
I was going to suggest we meet every Friday night, but you know, I don't know. You wanted to meet tomorrow? We can meet tomorrow. I'm free.
Yeah, I'm normally school anyway. Saturday night, yeah.
About the same time tomorrow, then.
Holloway, you there?
I'm gonna check this recording out when we're done, and maybe we got something good here.
Well, I'm sure you can pull pieces out of it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like I say, I didn't participate very much, so there's not much that you're going to be pulling out of what I was saying.
Yeah, it's okay, man. You know, you'll make up for it next time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll say goodnight, fellas.
Holloway, are you there?
Good night, Holloway. I'm gonna take myself a Holloway.
Right now, you guys. See you next time.
All right. Edusa. Thanks, buddy.
Hang on. Slow down, guys. Slow down. Wait. Slow down, guys.
I'm slow.
Greg, you want all four of us together, right?
Yeah, it's funner.
Okay. Wait till we get Holloway to respond.
Okay. You're right.
And
well, he might don't just leave yet, because we might not be getting together tomorrow if he's not responding, right? You want all four of us, right? Of course. Or a reasonable facsimile.
Holloway, are you there?
Maybe,
Mr. Arts.
Maybe he fell asleep.
No, he just muted his microphone. We just need you for 1 second, Holloway. Can you come tomorrow and be around tomorrow for another one of these?
He's a gamer, I'm sure.
Holloway?
I'm sure he'll, we can get him to...
Oh, it shows him playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah. He lost interest. It's okay. All right, so addition. So anyways, fellas, tomorrow night then, man. Same time.
Tomorrow night?
By 8 o'clock.
7 o'clock? 8 o'clock?
Whatever, 7, 8. Whatever.
Is that your time or EST?
EST, that's my time.
Is EST? Okay. 7 o'clock it is.
Okay.
Oh, it's about midnight for me.
All right. Well,
okay.
I'll say goodnight.
No,
okay,
Holloway
guys.
just left.
I'll send him
All right, fellas,
text. All right. See ya.